Yo, Ghost, what's up? What's up? Right on time, guys. So news just came out good for the dollar, and have you guys take a look at it. Okay, there it is. So expectations were 96. Actual came out to 102. If the actual is greater than forecasted, it's good for currency. All right, so we know what we need to know. All right, so good news for the dollar today. And I've already um, been looking at gold, so I've just sold gold. All right, and can look at the dollar really quick. All right, the dollar is pushing up from a nice support zone. We also have bullish divergence. On the chart, we're making lower lows. On the RSI, we're making higher lows. Therefore, we have divergence, guys. So gold, I've already been looking at it from yesterday, and I'm taking it. So here we go. Ghost was good. Okay, so from the 4 hour, you guys can see how we broke, we broke a low, and then we pulled all the way back into this order block, and now we're going to the downside. I expect us to get at least to this low, right, which was 23.25, and possibly lower than that to this low. Put our short position on, stop above the order block. We're talking almost $20 move. That's 200 pips. Of course, you can get to a lower time frame and make that a lot less, okay? But from the 4 hour, this is what it looks like. So I'm selling gold, stop above the order block, take profit all the way down to give me a 1 to 2, risking a $20 move for a $43 move. If we win this, that's 430 pips in the bank to start off our trading week. All right. Looks decent. Again, anything can happen. But at some point, guys, you got to make your bed and lay in it. All right. So looking at it from the lower time frame down to the 1 hour, right, we can see nice rejection off that order block. Okay. And we have a nice bearish candle that's getting ready to close. Look at how it rejected the median of this fair value of this order block to the absolute T. All right, guys, and with positive news on the dollar, this should, this should set it off for, a pretty nice drop. All right, so I'll give you guys the numbers here for gold. $23.49 is our entry. Stop loss is 23.73 or 71. Take profit is 23.07. Okay, let's take a look at the dollar, see if it's still pushing up. So here it is, consumer confidence 102 in May versus the 93 expected. Again, we always are ahead of the news Consumer confidence revisited or revised to 97 from April. And now we can just take a look at what this says. But I can see the dollar's moving. All right, so it's just the flash warning. It's another flash. All right. So here, let's take our alerts, push it up. And here we go. Dollars on the move. I like how we just broke this high. Okay, right here. I get rid of this support level. For now, we can keep this one. This was to represent the divergence. We can get rid of that. But here, we've created this huge imbalance right before we broke a high, which is a good sign. Okay, so we can expect at some point for the dollar to make a retracement to the fair value gap and then rise out of it. All right, we don't know when that's going to happen, but that is an expectation. So if the dollar starts to slow down from pushing up and begins to go sideways or begins to pull back, then the pullback is expected to this fair value gap before it begins to rise again. All right. So for now, gold is looking pretty good. Let's go take a look at our indices and see if they are dropping. So Tesla has opened up and is currently down 2%. Amazon is up and Apple's up a little bit, but not too significantly. Microsoft and Netflix are both down. So these could easily turn around and end up as down for the day. Nas has a very nice setup for a sell right now. So this is another opportunity at our disposal. So a nice trend line break. Okay, let's get our alerts pushed up. Okay, we're on the 2 hour, but you guys can clearly see that we had a bit of a rising wedge. All right, and we broke out of it. We're probably going to retest up into this area, but the best thing to do is to try to get low and see if we have any fair value gaps. Can't find it on this time frame, but one moment. Let's see. It's getting ready to create one. So again, now it's looking like a really good time to sell. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Okay, not there. The 15-minute. All right, there it is. So not only do we have a fair value gap, but we have an order block sitting here. Okay. And then our fair value gap is right below it, all the way down to here. And there we have it, guys. So since we have a high, we have a low, we can pull out Fibonacci, take it from the high down to the low, and there you go. All right, we're already above the 50, so that is a discounted price. All right, where price is right now, I'm going to be selling. All right, I would like it to push up a little more to that 61.8, but regardless, NAS is looking really good right now for the sell, and I am going to take it. Now, I have a feeling that, again, it may push up to this order block to mitigate it before falling. But overall, if we can get our stop loss above the order block, we should be okay. All right, so position like, let's say right about here, and stop right above that order block. It's only 30-point move on NAS, all right, which is really good. And our 1 and 2 will give us about 84. But I'm going to go for the gusto on this one for 122 pips to where Fibonacci tells us. All right. Here is my short position on NAS. I'm actually going to go ahead and take it now. Okay. And stop will be right above that wick. Okay, 36 points. Take profit all the way down. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We are shorting NAS for a really nice setup. All right. Okay. It is backed by good news on the dollar, with the dollar having bullish divergence. So all these things make for a good, recipe. All right. And here we go. Okay, again, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for me. It's NAS 100. This is a sell now. Our entry is 18843. Stop loss is 18883. Okay, and take profit is 18723. All right, there we have it. Okay, now technically, we didn't wait for the bears to show up to show that it will reject these areas, but we've covered the potential of a pullback to this consolidated area where we also have that order block. So we're in profit right now, and we could definitely drop a lot quicker depending on how far the dollar begins to rise. So let's go back, take a look at the dollar, set a few more alerts on it. All right, so we're getting some wickage that is, again, the way that it's going to go, right? We had a nice push up, so I do expect, again, just a bit of a pullback. So we'll see how far, hopefully not too far, right? But now we have, let's see, okay, this candle has 1 minute left, or about 2 minutes left. So it looks like it's creating a fair value gap from here to here. So again, it may be a bouncing point, all right, on that. NAS is doing this thing, all right. Let's get some alerts for when it rises. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, you have fair value gaps within fair value gaps. Again, we got 1 more minute left on this candle. And if it closes like this, then we'll have 1 more fair value gap, which again, it just all overlaps each other in this area. So, we just have more potential opportunities if price drops within these gaps to, take it long. But for now, our NAS trade is looking really good. Okay, let's hop back over. Okay, there we go. Rejection right off the 61.8, ladies and gentlemen, right to the T. And we're already up about, what is this, maybe 14, 15 points. Okay, so please get in where you fit in. I'll set a few alerts to let us know that it's going lower. Okay, but so far so good. I like the rejection. That is making me feel very, very good. All right. But, this thing can do whatever it wants. Just the setup itself looks very, very good. All right. Looking at gold. And we are still pushing down. We just created a fair value gap here. This is on the 15-minute time frame. There it is. Okay, so again, push the alerts up. Let us know when we're back in profit. Okay, U.S. stocks kick off weak mix, await key inflation reading. All right, but Nas is steady dropping. Okay, so um, that is good for us. Gold looks like it's on its way. Again, in the next 15 minutes, we may have another gap to the downside that was created here, which is a good thing because it shows bearish pressure. All right, and that's what we want to see when we're in a sell. All right, so let's go and take a look at another big dog, US 30. I can see on the stocks there, Goldman Sachs is down and United Health Group is down. Home Depot seems to be, up significantly, but collectively you can see more red than green. Same here with Apple with Nas for right now. You see more red than you see green. All right. So they are mixed, but the charts will typically tell you exactly how things are going to go. Here goes gold, getting ready to head back into profit. All right, so there it is. But let's look at the dollar. Okay, still getting some rejection over here on the left-hand side. But we will take a look at US 30. All right, and let's go ahead and get this all charted up. But US 30 also looks like a drop right now. All right, here is the previous day high. Okay, let's get in there. Here's the previous day low, and it's already broken the low of yesterday. All right, from this time frame, here is a order block. Okay, it's sitting right there, all nice and pretty. Okay, and you guys can also see from this daily time frame, we had a huge fair value gap. Okay, we haven't tapped into it, but it was huge nonetheless. And just about over here is where we had a level of resistance that is also breaking, which is part of that previous day low. All right, so let's go down to the 4-hour. Okay, and you guys can see how we were rising, right? Then we made a head and shoulders pattern, broke that neckline, dropped, pulled back, dropped again. We consolidated, and now we're breaking out of consolidation. So as of right now, guys, US 30 looks very bearish. All right. So here, a few alerts. This is on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, and we can clean up the high as well. We'll leave the low for now, but you can see we're creating a gap to the downside already. Let's look at the 2-hour. Okay, and let's reset. Okay, here we go. All right, so we have fair value gap here. Okay, and by the time this candle closes in the next, what does it have left? What is this, the 2-hour? Oh, that's an hour and 40 minutes, so got plenty of time for that. But let's get this lined up. Okay, dollar's doing something. We're gonna go check it out right after this. 1 hour, 30 minutes. Okay, and yeah, so just about to create a gap here. I'm gonna place it now just to see if it will be okay. But there it is. All right, a few more alerts. Let's go back, take a look at the dollar. Okay, so you guys can see here, the dollar, rose up off of the news, went very high, and now it's kind of pulled back, but respecting this fair value gap for now. But here's a situation where I can see that it failed to get any higher after it pushed this high. So, we do have now a low and a high where we can place Fibonacci. So here from the wick all the way up to the wick, and now you guys can see where there is a possibility of where price can go, all right, and reject out of this fair value gap. We're talking 38, right? We can push down to the 50. We can also push down to the 60 and potentially rise from each one of these areas. Now, we may even go deeper because there's a fair value gap sitting here and the order block sits right below that. So it's just depending on how the markets, how greedy they are, how much they want to go and try to, push price lower to spring it higher. All right. Maybe they want to do it now. Maybe they want to do it later. We don't really know. But I do expect at some point for price to kind of give us this pullback. All right. But for now, let's go and take a look at our gold and NAS trade. So dollar's pushing up. And now gold seems to be just in a little mix. Okay. So U.S. stocks kickoff week. All right, yeah, we read that. All right, NAS US 30. So let's take a look at US 30. We might be ready to rock and roll. And yes, we are. So it did create that gap. What was that on the 30-minute? Yep, there it is. Oh, no, we still got 7 minutes on it. But it's dropping either way. And I'm ready to take this for a sell. So with a short position, if I get in now with the stop right above this fair value gap, I'm looking at 38 points, right, which is pretty good, especially for the US 30 because this is a heavy hitter, all right. But a safer stop loss would be behind the previous day high for 190 points. So if you can't lose $190, obviously don't put your stop that far away, all right. You have a bit of a chance to, have this play out in your favor with it right above this fair value gap, all right, at roughly, 40-point move. And if we're taking it for a 1 and 2, this is really a 1 and 3, but if we go 1 and 2, there it is for 81-point move on US 30. But, that's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. We need to look at it from a higher time frame like the 4-hour. And now you can see here is where we have a bit of a low or level right here before it was acting as resistance, came back up to it and broke it. So now this will be support as price comes down. So we can aim all the way for that level, guys. All right. And here is a bit of a level here too. It's a little swing. All right. So there it is. All right, so if we aim for that instead, we're still pretty good. A 1 to 6, making $166, for a $40 stop loss. All right, guys, so going back down to that 15-minute, and I think I'm going to go ahead and hop in for US 30. All right, so here it is. Sell. Stop loss right above the fair value gap. Take profit, heading right down to the next level of support. It shows that we're in profit. All right, but get those alerts ready. And here is the play. Entry is 38958. Stop loss is 39004. That's 46 points. Okay, take profit is 38800, and that is for 157 points. All right, get in where you fit in. Guys, please hit that like and subscribe button for me. Okay, let's take a look at NAS, see how we're doing. Okay, still in profit. It went to go and test that 61.8 level one more time. Okay, so it's doing a little dancing. And again, this is all expected, right? It did a significant drop off of news, right? It did a pretty much a 86 point drop, all right? And now dollar's doing something. All right, there's the pullback, all right, that we expect. So again, we may see the indices rise a little bit. We may see gold rise a little bit. But ultimately, this is just setting up for the next run. All right, this was the run. You need a pullback, and then to continue the uptrend structure, you'll have another run. All right, but for now, we are pulling back. All right, again, just expect it. So when you know, you don't really worry like that, right? When you don't know, that's when you worry. All right, so we're gonna let everything play out here. Okay, so US 30 and NAS are moving. We'll take a look at NAS, and we're still in profit. All right, US 30. We are in profit significantly. All right, guys. So about a 17, 18, 19 point move. All right. Set a few more alerts to let us know that it is falling more, and we should eat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we should absolutely eat. If something goes array, right, if something doesn't turn out, these are where, you know, the veterans, right, we know that something's up. You know what I mean? Something has to give because, it's like, having, you know, it's like ordering your food and then, you ordered fries, right? But it's like 30 minutes later and you haven't gotten your fries. You know somebody's back there sleeping, right? You know what I'm saying? So same kind of deal when we see this nice setup. It's giving us all this bearish indication on these indices, but they don't fall, right? Something has to give. So, that's just how you got to understand it once you get to that level. But for now, just understand that we're looking good for the drops. All right, gold again pushed up because the dollar was pushing down. Let's get back over here and look at it. All right, so there it is. Dollar still doing its retest. Now it looks like it's just bouncing off the 38.2. But what we need is to see that rejection and to see more bulls show up, preferably a candle that breaks back above this high. Because even though we pushed above the high, we didn't necessarily break above it. So that was a little premature. When I said that we broke this high, we didn't really break it from this 15-minute time frame, but maybe on the 5-minute, there we go. We did break it on the 5-minute, but we just came right back in, and we're doing our pullback dance right now. But we're starting to push up now, so possibly gold is headed back down. There we go. Okay, it's the way the cookie crumbles. All right. And again, we're in a good position on gold because our stop loss from that higher time frame is above that order block. So if they really want to knock us out, they got to come all the way up here to do so. And there's a lot of bearish pressure that sits here. So typically, when you have good news for the dollar that causes it to push up, right, you'll have a lot of bearish pressure on your commodities. And again, that's typical, right? But not always the case. But for now, everything is looking good. All right. So okay, comment locked and loaded. Our USD longs just need a trigger. So if they think all USD is going to go long, then that means the dollar is going to fall. All right. And quite frankly, I don't see the dollar falling at the moment, but you know, you never know, right? So here, I mean, things do, uh, look like it can reject off of here and continue to go down. But with positive news, especially, pretty strong positive news for the dollar, I don't expect it to go in a, you know, continue a run to the downside. I expect a pullback, but I don't expect an actual run to where it, continues to fall. But, you never know. We'll see what we get here. Let's take a look at some of our majors. Okay, so odd dollar basically broke the high of yesterday. So we had a break, we had a retest, and we had a push up. But now it's kind of in the mix, and we definitely created equal highs. So that is something to take a look at right here. All right. And from this 1 hour time frame, this could definitely be considered a double top. All right. Double top is a bearish reversal pattern. Okay, we need a few things to play out. So one, we need the equal highs. Two, we need the break of this low. All right, so I'll put it as support for now, and you can see that we haven't quite broken it just yet, but it is looking, like it has some potential to do so. All right, so we got alert set on the odd dollar, and we'll leave it alone for now and come back to it to see, how things go. All right, dollar, what are you doing? All right, still with the rejection. Okay. Looking at it on the 15. Yep, and we're starting again to reject that 38 and push up. Okay, let's go back over to some of our majors. All right, euro dollar. Okay, I'm seeing the same thing as the odd, where we're rejecting yesterday's high, and it almost created a double top or equal highs. All right, let's go to the 2 hour. Okay, yep, and another high that it seems to be respecting right about here to the T. Nice rejection. So that looks like a liquidity grab for sure. And now we're going to see, because this does still look bullish. All right. I can't disagree with that. But it's broken back into the high of yesterday. So it's back within that range. But it is rejecting this order block. So this one isn't as clear cut as to which direction it's going to go. But it does look bullish for sure right now. Okay, so get a few alerts going. Okay, let's take a look at the dollar once again. Okay, dollar is back on the rise. All right, so this is very good. Like I mentioned, we just wanted to break above here with the candle that opens and closes. If that happens, guys, we're going to be looking at a pretty nice drop on our NAS and our gold and our US 30 sell. Right, so let's go over, take a look at those. All right, so here's gold. All right, pushed up back to that fair value gap. Just push our alerts up. All right, here we go. US 30 dropping. Guys, hope you guys took it. We're up 45 points on US 30 already. All right, and I expect a significant drop on NAS as well. And let's take a look. There we go. Right off that 61.8 rejection, we're back up about maybe 11, 12 points. And we should definitely start to head down, because what you're noticing is all the rejection at that level, and the bears should start to show up, especially as the dollar is going back to rising. All right. So one more time, gold. Yep, broke this low, made a lower low. This will be the lower high once the bears show up, and it should be lights out from there. Okay, getting NAS and US 30 looking really, really good. All right, pushing on down. It's looking very nice. Okay, and NAS here from the 2 hour time frame, that rising wedge, right? The breakout, the retest, the drop is next. All right. So since we're getting NAS and US 30 to fall, what about SPY? Yep, SPY looks exactly how US 30 does, with the rising wedge, or the break of the rising wedge. Okay, guys, these are all looking prime time for sell. Okay, so right here, don't quite see the fair value gap, but we do see a level here that was broken. Okay, and it's now acting as resistance to the T. Guys, I like SPY right now for a sell. I do see a fair value gap here. It's very tiny. but it's there. Okay, but I'm selling SPY. Stop loss above the gap. Actually, I'll put it a little above here just in case. And take profit all the way. Yep, to this low. And there we go. Beautiful setup, guys. Very, very beautiful setup. Here is our position. Yep, very nice. Very beautiful. All right, we've made a lot of money on plays like this, time and time again. Breaks of rising wedges, perfect structure. All right, confluence with the economic news, to where when these indices are correlated with the dollar, so when the dollar rises, they fall. When the dollar falls, they rise. But today we have dollar rising, so these again should fall. All right, if you want SPY, here is the play. Again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Entry is 53.02. Stop loss is 53.15. And take profit is 52.54. Okay. And whoop, there it is. Get in where you fit in. Okay, dollar doing some more. All right, can't see it. Let's go to that 15-minute. All right, pulling back. So again, you see the importance of why it needs to break, or a candle needs to open and close above here so we can feel that momentum. All right, gold steadies on lower dollar. Focus shifts to U.S. inflation data, but we see what gold is doing right now. Now that the dollar is kind of pushing down, it most likely will be rising, but you know we're still expecting a rise out of the dollar. Hopefully this wasn't it, right? But we definitely, like I said, had divergence here from these two lower lows, and now if we could just get above this high with the candle break, then I'll feel a lot better. But for now, we're doing the pullback dance. Okay, gold still at that fair value gap. Nas, all right, has pushed back a little more. And I believe it's going to go and balance out that order block, which it looks like it just did. All right. And US 30. Okay, still underneath our entry price. But we're getting some wicks to the bottom of the candles, which is okay. Um, still just in a situation where we have to let things play out. Euro USD went off, and you can see that it's starting to fall from this 15-minute time frame, right? We broke the low, pushed back. I don't see any fair value gaps, but again, I do see a bit of a level. Just about there. Okay, so we'll see if it will respect that and drop, or if it will continue to rise. Our dollar is already starting to fall, so let's get a few alerts on that. Typically, the odd dollar does exactly what gold does. So if gold falls, then the odd dollar will fall. And if it rises, it will rise. That is because of the correlation with gold and the Australian uh, economy. All right, they're one of, I think, like the second or third largest, producer of gold. So it just makes sense when gold moves, that odd dollar moves as well. All right. So for now, pushing up a little bit, but we do have fair value gap to the downside. So that is going to be some bearish pressure to help it fall. But for now, we're just in the mix. And we're about to wrap it up in a little bit, guys, to, give, these three trades that we're in some time to do their dance. All right. Okay, right at the order block now on NAS, and pushing back up to the fair value gap on US 30. Okay, there is a fair value gap right above here. Okay, and for the most part, I hope we're not headed in there to balance that fair value gap out. But there is a possibility. So let's see, from 40 to about 57, man, and there's there's even more. So there's one more fair value gap here. Okay, with a order block sitting right above it. So because these are all so close in proximity, guys, I do want to push the stop loss back above this order block because I know the game. All right, so going to push this up. And now we're risking about 70 to 80 points, guys. All right, but again, if you don't want to risk that much, just leave your stop loss above this order block for the 40-point original stop loss that we had. But I just see potential here of it getting into these zones, into these areas before dropping. But right now, it is respecting this order block, so that is good news, especially if you wanted to keep your stop loss the same. All right, but if you're seeing, what I'm seeing, you want to move your stop loss. Again, feel free to do so over to 18,928. That is 18,928 on NAS. Take a look at US 30, see if there's any more hidden messages. Okay, technically, no. It's just right above this fair value gap here. And with this fair value gap, instead of, having to place your stop way above there, you can just put a sell limit order instead with another tight stop right above the median of the fair value gap, and then take your take profit all the way down to where we're looking to originally take our first play. All right. That way, if you do get hit and it decides to go push up to this, you'll get activated for another sell without you having to be on the chart, right? You'll have a nice stop loss of just 39 points on US 30, which is great. Okay. It's just great. And you'll have a take profit of about 293 points. All right. So that is a good setup. But let's take a look at the dollar one more time. Okay, so now we finally push back. Dollar falls on strength in the British pound. Let's read about that. Dollar index is down today. All right, get this out of the way. I don't need to see that, but okay. It's down today at a week and a half low. Strength in the British pound is undercutting the dollar. All right, today as it rallied to 2.25-month high. Dollar recovered from its worst levels after conference board U.S. May consumer index unexpectedly rose, right? Unexpectedly. After Minneapolis Fed presidents, this guy said Fed should take its time before cutting interest rates. Okay. Yep. The confidence board U.S. May consumer index unexpectedly rose. All right. The U.S. Market S&P Core Logic Composite Home Price Index rose. The U.S. made Dallas Fed Manufacturing Outlook Survey unexpectedly fell. Blah blah blah. The markets are discontinuing the chance for a minus 25 basis point rate cut at zero for the June 11-12 FOMC meeting and 10% for the following meeting on July 31st. So again, guys, just the percentage of a rate cut is getting lower and lower, as time goes on. We should be getting rate hikes to bring inflation down. All right, but only time will tell. So it's a pretty lengthy read. Gold is up today, 14 points, or $14. Silver is up. Precious metal fell back from their best levels after the consumer confidence unexpected increase. Also, hawkish comments from the Minneapolis Fed president weighed on precious metals when he said the Fed should take its time to monitor whether inflation is slowing enough to warrant interest rate cuts. I don't think it is, so I don't think interest rate cuts are warranted. But what do I know? I'm just a Forex guy, right? Not a monetary policy, chairman or whatever, right? So here we're getting that rejection off the 61.8 Fibonacci level, which is good. But again, all we really need to get now for our trades to take off is the push back up and the break above that support or this resistance area for now. And that should take us home. But time will tell, guys, but going off of market structure is the best way to go. Okay, so right at the fair value gap on gold, we can set our alerts up a little higher. Okay, on NAS, all right, we're still in that order block. That's good. US 30. And we went to reject that fair value gap. Now we're back into profit. All right, so guys, for the day, we're looking pretty good on our sells for NAS US 30. Oh, can't forget SPY. So we're actually in 4. Right, and look at that rejection off that fair value gap, guys. I placed that fair value gap before we ever went to it, right? And now you guys can see how price went to it exactly and rejected it. Okay, so that is good news for now. But huge fair value gap sitting in here, but we've already balanced that out. This order block has not been tapped into, so hopefully there's no crazy hunt to go and take that and then drop, right? Hopefully we can still respect this fair value gap and head on our way down, all right? But ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions, any comments, any concerns whatsoever about any of the trades that were in. Is there any other trade that you guys would like to take a look at? Let me know, and we will do so. All right, all right. So, guys, thank you guys for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it. Let's see. I think tomorrow we have, all right, news for the euro. So won't really be going over this, but Thursday I will be back at 8 a.m. for GDP, as well as unemployment and pre-home set. Well, maybe not this. Um, we may be just wrapping it up around this time, but I know that GDP and unemployment will definitely move the dollar once again. And then obviously PCE at the end of the week, which has a lot to do with inflation. All right. And it's kind of what everybody's waiting on to see, whether or not we're going to do a hike or a cut on the rates. So stay tuned for, live this Thursday and this Friday to try to take advantage of that. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for this morning. Y'all be safe out there. And to my members in my Discord, I'll be in a little bit. All right. But meantime, in between time, y'all have a great morning. All right. Peace.